Hello everyone, a warm good morning to all of you. Would like to welcome to all to our this session of YouTube channel. So I hope you are all good, fit and fine. So with the continuation of our international relation discussion, today we'll discuss about another approaches to the international politics, that is realism. Okay, realism, one of the approaches to the international politics as a part of SSB political science syllabus. And before before switch to our today session, would uh, like to bring your attentions about the objective of the session. That today the first, that to develop an approach how to crack the question with regard to international relations, the first things. Second thing, to highlight the way the question is framed. Then your in the line, third thing, to interpret the previous year trend and expected trends. Okay, so that is how the three objectives of the today sessions. And your realism would cover under three lines, that is the principles first, then components of realism, thinker, book, and who coined what. Okay. So first we will discuss these three principles regarding the realisms. So your this session divided in the two branch. That first we will discuss the previous year questions along with the expected question, then we will try to cover the related theory with respect to this. Okay, so first thing we will discuss the PYQ with your the expected questions. Okay, then we will cover your the theory will second, first the previous year questions. So without delay, let's start our today first questions. Who is known for advocating the smart power, accommodating the both hard power and soft power in his multicultural vision of international politics? Okay, so as we all know, in international politics there are different approaches, and smart power, who advocating smart power, which include both hard power and soft powers. Okay, so option A, Joseph Nye, option B, Robert Kaheno, option C, James Rosney, and option D, F.G. Sterlings. So the correct answer of the question number first, option A, Joseph Nye. Okay. So Joseph Nye, who advocating the smart power by accommodating both hard power and soft power. Okay, so hard power and soft power. Okay, which includes the hard power and soft power, the smart power, that is called smart power according to Joseph Nye. Then next question, which is not a sixth principle of realism as for Hans J. Morgenthau. According to Morgenthau, which is not a sixth principle of the realisms? Option A, the law of the politics is rooted in human nature and is self-seeking, self-interested, and power-loving. Option B, politics is an autonomous sphere of activity. Option C, interest of the state is static but not dynamic. Option D, maintain autonomy of politics. We need to choose the not a sixth principle of the Hans J. Morgenthau. As we all know, Hans J. Morgenthau wrote a book, Politics Among Nations, A Struggle for Power and Peace. Okay. So in 1948, Hans J. Morgenthau wrote a book, Politics Among Nations, A Struggle for Power and Peace, in which year 1948. In this book, he provided the six principle of realisms. How many principle? Six principle of realism, and out of that, the which one is not correct. So let's see what is the correct answer. So correct answer of the question number 2, option C, regarding the sixth principle, interest of the state is static but not dynamic. Okay, we need to find incorrect, and this statement is incorrect because Hans J. Morgenthau sixth principle include the interest of state is dynamic, it's not static. Okay, here the option C is incorrect because according to Hans Morgenthau, the interest of state is dynamic, not the static. Okay, then moving to the next question, choose incorrect pair. Option A, Renewal Neighbor, Moral Man, Immoral Society. Okay, the book Moral Man, Immoral Society. renewable near. Option B, George F. Cannon, containment. Then option C, Frederick Schumann, Ditant, and option D, Nicholas Spikeman, the godfather of containment. So you need to find the incorrect pair. I believe the answer was leak. So obviously answer of the question number 3 is option C, the Frederick Schumann. Detent is incorrect because the concept of detent is provided by Henry Kissinger. Okay, Henry Kissinger famous for the concept of detent, but your Frederick Schumann famous for the concept of geostrategy. Okay, geostrategy concept Frederick Schumann. Then moving to here the explanation that Henry Kissinger concept of detent and also the gone diplomacy. Okay, gone diplomacy concept associated with Henry Kissinger. Okay, then moving to the next question, which among the following points does not responsible for the emergence of security dilemma? Okay, so emergence of security dilemma, which among the following is not responsible? You need to find not responsible. Option A, arm race. Option B, nuclear weapon. Option C, open diplomacy, and option D, both A and C. So you need to find that not responsible for the emergence of the security dilemma. Okay, so let's see what is the correct answer of this question. The option C, that open diplomacy is not part of the security dilemma. Okay, what is security dilemma? Now security dilemma that believes the idea of arm race, nuclear weapon. Okay, nuclear weapon, arm race, but open diplomacy, it is a part of the 14 principles of the Woodrow Wilson's. Okay, Woodrow Wilson's 14-point principles, the open diplomacy. Okay, open diplomacy by Woodrow Wilson's. So answer of this question option C, because it asks about that which is not responsible for the emergence of the security dilemma. That is how open diplomacy is not related. Next question, security dilemma term coined by whom? Okay, who coined the term security dilemma? Okay, so option A, John Hodge. Option B, Robert Jervis. Option C, Nicholas Spikeman, and option D, renewable neighbors. Okay, so coin the word, the coin security dilemma coined by whom? So it is obviously the answer of this question option A, John Hodge. Okay, John Hodge coined the word security dilemma. Okay, very important, John Hodge. Okay, then option A is the answer. Moving to the next question, consider the following statement. Option A, the states are rational actors selecting the strategy to maximize the benefits and minimize the losses. Option B, most critical problem presented by anarchy is survivals. Option C, state are the only actor in international system, and option D, state favor the self-help and survival over the cooperative behavior. So this is how the following statement, and what the question is about. The question is asking about choose the appropriate which is best suitable for the above statements. Okay, तो तुम मानू कौन देखिए चारिटा स्टेटमेंट दे देछि. ओके, चारिटा स्टेटमेंट दे देछि. से पचाउछि ए चारिटा स्टेटमेंट को कॉन्सेप्ट को बेस्ट appropriate होछि. So which of the following concept is best aligned with the above 4 statement? So you need to find out na above the 4 statement is best appropriate for the concept of what? Okay, realism, structural realism, offensive realism, new liberalism. Okay, तो आमको कौन फाइंड आउट करार अच्छी ये जो चारिटा ऑप्शन अच्छी चारिटा कॉन्सेप्ट विषय कह ये चारिटा कॉन्सेप्ट बा आम कहीपर जो चारिटा उपर स्टेटमेंट दी जाए चारिटा उपर स्टेटमेंट क्या उपर कह रियलिज्म उपर कह ना स्ट्रक्चरल रियलिज्म उपर कह ना ऑफेंसिव रियलिज्म ना इट ऑल अबाउट न्यू लिबरलिज्म. सो तो which approaches deals with the 4 statements. So this is a type of question which was asked in your UPSC. Okay, in UPSC this kind of question was asked, and here the question you have to answer that which the statement best suitable for the concept best suitable for this statement. So option, let's see, option 2, structural realism. Okay, so structural realism believe that maximize the benefit, minimize the losses. Okay, they talk about the anarchy, the survival, they emphasize on the survivals. They talk about the state are the only actors, and they talk about the self-help and survival over the cooperative behavior. So this is how the concept structural realism. Okay, so structural realism. Then moving to the next question, which is not a thinker to neo-realisms. Okay, question number 7, that which is not a thinker to neo-realisms. Option A, Joseph Greco. Option B, Christopher Lane. option C Farid Zakaria, and option D Alexander Wendt. So let's see what is the answer of the question number 7. Option D, the Alexander Wendt, it's not a thinker to neorealism. Okay, Alexander Wendt is not thinker to neorealism. Okay, बहुत बढ़िया. Then question number 8, if I ask about Alexander Wendt, so Alexander Wendt belongs to which school of thought? Okay, which school of thought Alexander Wendt belongs? That it is your social constructivist. Okay, so social constructivist. Okay, social constructivist. Okay, बहुत बढ़िया. Then next question, question number 8, which is not a book by Kenneth Walsh. Okay, not a book by Kenneth Walsh. Option A, Man, the State and the War. Option B, the Theory of International Politics. Option C, the Realism and International Politics. And option D, the Decision, the Social Theory of International Politics. So which is not a book by Kenneth Walsh. So what is the answer? The correct answer of this question, option D, the Social Theory of International Politics. This is a book by your the social constructivist scholar, that is how Alexander Wendt. Okay, Alexander Wendt wrote a book, the Social Theory of International Politics. Okay, so Social Theory of International Politics is not related to Kenneth Walsh. Kenneth Walsh wrote a book, Man, the State and War. Correct. Theory of International Politics. Correct. Realism and International Politics. Correct. Okay, बहुत बढ़िया. Then next question, which is not a part of the three trades by Martin Waite. Okay, so Martin Waite, one of the scholar to the English School to International Relations. Okay, so English School to International Relations, so that includes Martin Waite as a scholar. And according to Martin Waite, which is not a three trades, option A rationalism, option B realism, option B revolutionism, and option D idealisms. Okay, so what is the answer of question number 9? So question number 9 answer, option D, that is the idealism. Idealism is not part of the three trade according to Martin Waite. Okay, do remember rationalism, it include rationalism, it include realism, it include revolutionism. Okay, बहुत बढ़िया. Then next question, who is the best known for the theory of just war? Guys, it is just war, not justice war. Okay, just war, it's my mistake and need to correct that. The theory of just war, best known, which scholar best known for the theory of just war? So option A Martin Waite, option B Hugo Grotius, and option C Kenneth Walsh, and option D Morgenthau. Okay, so the concept of just war or theory of just war related to whom? So what is the correct answer? Let's see. The correct answer of this question, option what? So you need to provide in the comment section as your, it is the homework question for you. Okay, so this is how we understand the so the question related to realism. Okay, so this is your the question related to realism. So realism include, these are the following question. We see the question regarding the book and author. We see the question regarding the conceptual understanding, 6 principles. We saw also the question about the different thinker and their related word, who coined what word. Okay, we have understood this thing. Okay, now we will see the theory part. Okay, theory part, as I already said to you that we will discuss the realism. Even we have already discussed the question. Now the thing that we have to cover the theory, because we need to revise. Okay, we need to revise. Okay, that is how the realism. First we will discuss the realism. So what is realism? Realism is a negative view to IR. Idealism is a positive view to the IRs. If I talk about idealism, they talk about positive view because ideal in nature, but realism is realistic in nature. Okay, जोड़ा आम कहते कथार जो सत जदि आम कहीदेवा सोसाइटी आमको किए पसंद करें. ओके, तो सेमती आम मन रखिपर ना रियलिज्म, दैट इज कौच रियलिस्टिक्स, द रियलिटी. आ रियलिटी मीन्स कौन? नेगेटिव. तुम जो समाज में सत कह ना पीपुल विल बी नेगेटिव टू यू. ओके, जो कहना इफ यू टॉक द ट्रू थिंग इन द सोसाइटी देन यू विल बी, people will be have a negative attitude towards you. So similarly you can remember the realism talks about negative view of international relations, जोटा कि real fact. Okay, so negative view to international relation. Then second point, the state is reflection of the human natures. So सेमाने कहउछि कोन ना state होउछि कोन, it is reflection of human natures. जेमति हमर state को किए चलाए ना, state regulated by our honorable executives. So our executive being a humans, they will reflect, their human nature will reflect in the regulation and conduct of the state affairs. Don't you think so? That is how the state is reflect of the human nature. Then what is the core principle of realism? Na, they believe strategy That is how for them the state is important, then the other things, morality, ethics, humanity, these are not important for the realist scholars. Self-help, they talk about we need to protect ourselves, we need to ensure our survival, because in international system there is anarchy, no one guarantee to for your protection of your rights, so we have to ensure the self-help. Survival, for them the survival is most important. Okay. Arm race, like they are continuously put effort for the arm, for the nuclear weapons, for the nuclear weapon test, different thing, and followed by security dilemma. Why security dilemma take place? Now for the arm race. Why security dilemma take place? For the self-help. Okay, self-help, arm race, these are responsible for the security dilemma. Balance of power, they talk about to balance the power of our neighbors, of our the basically the countries. Okay, the in international level, that balance of power. For example, Pakistan's working for nuclear weapon, India working for the nuclear weapon. So here what the power is balance. Okay, power is balance. So balance of power is a part of your realism. The national interest and state egoism, for them the state interest is way more important than the international systems, international welfares. Okay, and struggle for power, they hungry for power, power and power. Okay, that is how the core principle of the realism. Okay, so realism believes in these following lines. Then why realism? If you ask the question why realism is emerged, as we have understood that each and every idea originate as a critique to another existing idea. Say for example, we have a study the concept of thesis, antithesis. Okay, thesis and antithesis. If I will talk about something A, then there will be a positive to the my concept of the A, that is B. Don't you think so? So why realism? So E.H. Carr said the idealism is a utopian idea, and IR international system could not away from the statecraft and violence. So E.H. Carr criticized the idealism, criticized the principle of idealism, and argued that idealism as a utopian idea. So utopian idea means idealism, and we cannot ignore the violence and the statecraft from the international system. So from there the concept of realism developed. बहुत बढ़िया. Then now we will quickly see the thinker and books. Now I am going to discuss the important thinker to idea realism and the related books and concept. Say for example, E.H. Carr, they wrote a book 20 Year of Crisis. Friedrich Schumann, the concept of geostrategy. Nicholas Spikeman, known as godfather of containment. Renewable Neighbor wrote a book Moral Man and Immoral Society, The Nature and Destiny of the Man. George F. Cannon coined the word containment. Who coined the word containment? George F. Cannon, and also inspiration for the Truman Doctrine. Hans Morgenthau wrote a book Politics Among Nations, A Struggle for Power and Peace in 1948. Okay, so who wrote a book Politics Among Nations? Hans Morgenthau, in which year? 1948. What is the full form of the book? A Struggle for Power and Peace. Then he is known as father of international basically realism in international relation, and he also developed a 6 principle of international relation. बहुत बढ़िया. Then Henry Kissinger concept of policy of deterrent. Okay, policy of deterrent famous. Okay, due to the Henry Kissinger subtle diplomacy concept, Henry Kissinger, and gunboat diplomacy and US philosophy. Okay, Henry Kissinger famous for the concept of policy of deterrent, subtle diplomacy, gunboat diplomacy. Okay, this is how you have to remember. Then now switch to the components of realism. What are the components of realism? So there are 2 types of realism. One is defensive realism, another one is offensive realism. Okay, बहुत बढ़िया. So defensive realism, that is how Kenneth Walsh, and offensive realism John Mortimer. Okay, John Mortimer offensive realism, Kenneth Walsh defensive realism. Okay, what is the key term of defensive realism? Survivals, security dilemma, and structural realism. So let's understand the defensive realism. Defensive realism, which is propounded by Kenneth Walsh, believes that the state want to maximize its power for the objective of ensure the survivals, ensure the protection of the states. The main aim of the development of the power and security of the states with objective to survival of the states. Survival is the key word for the defensive realism. But on the other hand, your offensive realism, which was propounded by John Mortimer, believes that the state always aim at a hegemony, power of hegemony, hegemonic power. The state try to maximize its power as a hegemonic power. The state try to build a hierarchical system in international system. The state try to always reach at the power, okay, at the highest level of power. That is your offensives. Offense, you are offend here. Defensive means you defend, you protect yourself, you try to increase your power to protect your states. That is your defensive and offensives. Then, if I talk about Kenneth Wells wrote a book, Man, the State and War. So, Man, the State and War, wrote by the Kenneth Wells. Realism and International Politics, the book written by Kenneth Wells. The Theory of International Politics, book by Kenneth Wells. So, Theory of International Politics, Realism and International Politics, Man, the State and War, the book related to Kenneth Wells. So, they can ask the question, the Kenneth Wells, which of the following is related to the Kenneth Wells or not? Okay, so Man, the State and War, you have to remember Man, the State and War. Okay, then your basically the realism and international politics and theory of international politics. So in offensive realism, you have to remember the John Mortimer book, The Tragedy of Great Power Politics. So in 2001, The Tragedy of Great Power Politics was wrote by John Mortimer. Very, very important. Please make note of it. Then neorealism is different from realism. How the neorealism different from neorealism? Because your neorealism emphasizes on the structure and they provide a scientific explanation to realism. So that is how the difference. Okay, and it is not a critique but an extension of realism with more appropriate way. So they will confuse you that neorealism originated as a critique to realism. That would be wrong. Okay, that would be wrong. That it is not a critique but an extension of realism with more appropriate way. So this is how you have to remember. Then the thinker and book related to neorealism. So you have to see. First, you have noticed that the thinker and realism scholar, the scholar of the realist school and the basically their idea. Now we will switch to the thinker and related book with respect to neorealism. For example, Joseph Greco wrote a book, Cooperation Among Nations. Okay, Cooperation Among Nations, Joseph Greco. Then Christopher Lane, The Page of Illusion. So Page of Illusion, Christopher Lane. Then Stephen Cransers, they wrote a book, Defending National Interest. So Defending National Interest, Stephen Cransers. Okay. Then Farid Zakaria, the From Wealth to Power. So Farid Zakaria, From Wealth to Power. So From Wealth to Power, Farid Zakaria. So these are the scholars related to neorealism. Okay, Joseph Greco, Christopher Lane, Stephen Cransers, and Farid Zakaria. So which one of the following thinkers belong to neorealism or not? So you need to remember Joseph Greco, Christopher Lane, Stephen Cransers, Farid Zakaria. Okay, बहुत बढ़िया. Then next question, bonus question. Which is not related to Joseph Nye. So complex interdependence, then soft power and hard power, both ends in structural realism. So which is not related to Joseph Nye. So option D is the answer. Okay, this is the bonus question for all of you, for my dear favorite students. Then Charles P. Kindleberger belong to which school of thought? Charles P. Kindleberger belong to which school of thought? It is how, which schools? You need to provide in comment section. This is homework for all of you. Those are provide will the answer in comment section. For them the PDF is free of cost. It's a open announcement from my side. Those will provide the answer, whether you provide the correct answer or incorrect answer, that does not matter. If you provide the answer in comment section, I will promise I will provide the PDF with free of cost. Okay, this is my promise from my sides. Okay, so this is all about from my side, guys. Thank you everyone for being part of this lesson. And जदि तुम मैंने मोर ए वीडियो को किंबा ए कंटेंट को लाइक करथिबो जे एटा SSB लेक्चर एंड PGT पे बहुत हेल्पफुल, देन प्लीज शेयर विथ योर फ्रेंड. ओके, योर वन शेयर विल help me for targeting, for achieve my target, and do subscribe my channels. Okay, if you are first times you are or you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe, and also do like my channel. Okay, if you like my effort. So this is all about from my side, and do let me know which kind of things you want in upcoming day. I will make a list of things to cover the thing according to the subsequent classes. Thank you everyone. Thank you so much.